Hey there, Foundation staff. Sherm here, and welcome to the Site-42 Critique Lab. Now, we're going to change the format a little bit this time around. Channel business. Hey, Steve Jobs is in the stream today. Hey, glad to see you, buddy. Now, let's see. Standard channel business while we wait for the stream to file in. Ellen's here. Hello, Ellen. Let's see. Standard channel business. So we're at about... Ketchup. Hello, Ketchup. We're at about 2,500 subs as of today, this morning. That's fantastic. Remember, if you want to do the Site-42 Critique Lab yourself, you can throw your draft in the Site-42 Discord server. We have a Critique Lab channel specifically for dropping in your Critique Lab requests. As well, you can send an email of your draft to scpsite42@gmail.com. No hyphens, no weird stuff like that. Just scpsite42@gmail.com. Hello, Sam and Ketchup. Welcome to the stream. Beyond that, the normal channel business is just the normal support the channel stuff. If you do the like, share, and subscribe stuff, that's nice. If you remember to hit up the Patreon or the merch store, we're getting all sorts of new merch. I'm going to start showing off some of the new t-shirts in later episodes because they're really cool, and I'm going to buy them now for myself because I have a t-shirt store and I can get them. Oh, and now we're at the 2-minute mark, so it's time to discuss, and C-Drops mentions and how, and yes, I am designing the and how shirt. It's going to have a little Dr. Spanko on it. So it's and how with a little Dr. Spanko corncrake sitting on top. I'm excited. Maybe I'll give him like a stethoscope and like a little head dongle thingy because he's doctor. So that'll be funny. But in the meantime, if you'll go down to the description, today's link of the day is brought to us by Mr. Red. And Mr. Red's draft is called the Temple of Depression. Or I'm sorry, just Temple of Depression. So, let me open my pad here. And as always with the format, we will start by reading the entire thing. Following that, we'll start to talk about story structure and more fluid idea writing stuff. And after we're done with the story in general, we'll go through with a spelling, grammar, and format check. So, SCP-3929, Temple of Depression. Two things I'm going to say out the gate because I see this is going to be a thing a whole lot. So make sure there's hyphens between SCP and the number every time. And normally when you're writing an SCP draft, you want to make sure that you don't give it a number immediately, just so you don't accidentally give it a number that's taken by the time you're done writing. So most drafts are SCP XXXX. But that's not a huge deal. That's just formatting 4 drafts to make your life easier so that you remember to go in and change all of them at the end. So, let's begin the read-through. Item number, SCP-3929. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-3929 is to be monitored at all times and patrolled regularly by security staff on site. Camera feeds from around the fence surrounding SCP-3929 are viewed from a remote outpost disguised as a farm, located 4 kilometers from SCP-3929's containment site. SCP-3929-1 is self-contained by SCP-3929, but due to the potential danger SCP-3929 poses to the public, it is fenced with a fortified wall of a 5-kilometer radius around SCP-3929 and considered the Foundation's private property. Unauthorized personnel and trespassers into the property must be detained, debriefed, and either terminated or amnesticized. Due to the fire risk posed by Transitional Event 3929 towards natural wildlife, containment and secrecy efforts, either due to controlled experimentation or the unexpected introduction of SCP-3929-2, trees and plant life of a progressively growing or wooded nature is not to be permitted within a 1-kilometer radius of SCP-3929. Personnel researching the effects of Transitional Event 3929 must be equipped with fire-retardant equipment and a means of extinguishing stray flames that may occur as a result of Transitional Event 3929. Invitation into the home of SCP-3929-1 is to be declined in any case that it occurs outside of testing and experiments, in which D-Class personnel must be used exclusively. Research into the anomalous properties of SCP-3929, 3929-1, and 3929- 3. The contents of SCP-3929's attic and whereabouts and information on soul print books is pending approval. Correction underway. Description: SCP-3929. Oh, I apologize. I have a little bit of background music going. If that's ever too loud and you can't hear me, let me know. I'm trying to liven up the show a little bit. Description: SCP-3929 is currently a two-story house similar in construct to a home within urban sectors of Data Expunged. Data Expunged, England. It is located in Ayrshire, Scotland, northwest of Beep, redacted, in a remote forest. Despite its changing appearance with each iteration of SCP-3929-1, SCP-3929 will always have the essential needs of a human, along with any other needs an individual requires. It is theorized that SCP-3929 is sentient in the respect that it caters to the wants and needs of the current iteration of SCP-3929. The reason for this is unknown. SCP-3929 is currently D-1688, previously known as J-M, a Caucasian male of ostensibly 27 years of age, previously a self-published writer from Data Expunged, England, and was convicted of multiple accounts of manslaughter. Despite having been trapped within SCP-3929 for 3 years, SCP-3929-1 does not appear to physically age, making SCP-3929-1 biologically immortal. Descriptions and pictures received from the current iteration of SCP-3929-1 depict SCP-3929's current manifestation as a pleasant, clean home, almost completely free from clutter. SCP-3929-1 reports that this is a feature of SCP-3929, and that he is not aware of how it works. Of how it occurs, thank you. Questionings conducted indicate that SCP-3929-1 will answer most questions, sans questions pertaining to the attic. The current iteration of SCP-3929-1, D-1688, will appear to disregard any mention of an attic altogether. The only information any instance of SCP-3929-1 has given about SCP-3929's attic is the seemingly paranoid belief of a nondescript entity, believed to be a manifestation of SCP-3929-3 due to the radio logs disclosed within Addendum 1, in the attic of SCP-3929. It is believed that while SCP-3929-1 is unable to enter or fully acknowledge SCP-3929's attic, instances of SCP-3929-2 are able to locate and communicate information about the attic. SCP-3929-1 appears to express a distinctive aversion to leaving 2.5 kilometers from SCP-3929. It is unable to express why. Current hypotheses suggest that although SCP-3929-1 wishes to leave SCP-3929, they are subject to a cognitive hazard brought on by SCP-3929 that triggers a fight-or-flight instinct when faced with the choice. The subject expressing a seemingly genuine fear. However, in 25% of instances in which it is suggested for SCP-3929-1 to leave SCP-3929, the former displays a largely obsessive reaction regarding SCP-3929, comparable to a parent who has been separated forcefully from their child. Expiration of SCP-3929-1 appears to result in the reappearance of SCP-3929-1 24 hours later, with SCP-3929-1 describing this experience as a strange, lengthy bout of uneasy, dreamless sleep. Despite showing enjoyment of SCP-3929's recreational facilities and its seemingly endless food supply, the current iteration of SCP-3929-1 has attempted suicide at least 2 digits redacted times due to reported feelings of isolation and helplessness. SCP-3929-1 is known to have access to the internet, but shows an inability to use this to contact the outside world. Any attempt made by SCP-3929 to contact the outside world through social media, forums, and telephones has resulted in failure. Due to this, SCP-3929-1 is able to keep up with current events and express opinions and views, but appears in reports being unable to cope with its lack of connection to the outside world. For SCP-3929-1's mental well-being, it has been assigned a psychiatrist and is allowed to converse with Foundation personnel due to lack of sufficient threat, malicious intent, or threat of containment breach. Despite SCP-3929's inability to leave SCP-3929, the current iteration of SCP-3929 appears to contain an anomalously large and potentially self-replenishing quantity of food which has kept SCP-3929-1 alive for the last 3 years, with previous iterations of SCP-3929-1 supposedly having survived up to 100 years. Foundation analysis of SCP-3929-1's food deducts, or 3929's food deducts that despite tasting exactly the way it should in each instance, the food is composed entirely of data expunged. That's a weird thing to expunge, I think. SCP-3929-1 will often attempt to engage in conversation with potential peers, using any opportunity of self-expression. Once an individual has stepped into SCP-3929, they become an instance of SCP-3929-2. Instances of SCP-3929-2 show a similar inability to leave SCP-3929 to SCP-3929-1. SCP-3929-2, like SCP-3929-1, is able to contact the outside world, but unlike SCP-3929-1, SCP-3929-2 is able to communicate important information non-superficial about the anomalous qualities of SCP-3929. The last recorded instance of SCP-3929-2, D1688, was able to reach and speak about the attic of SCP-3929, detailing what he saw before the current instance of SCP-3929-1 became aware of D1688's intrusion. See Addendum 3929-1 for details. If an instance of SCP-3929-1 and SCP-3929-2 are together in SCP-3929 at 1 o'clock General Mountain Time, 0100 hours, o'clock General Mountain Time, Transitional Event 3929 is executed. SCP-3929 appears to catch fire internally, with no method for either SCP-3929-1 or SCP-3929-2 to exit safely. During every instance of a Transitional Event F3929 occurring, SCP-3929-1 expresses thankfulness to SCP-3929-2 for what it perceives as being set free. It has been noted that an hour prior to the majority of Transitional Event 3929 occurrences, SCP-3929-3 instances have been seen to roam SCP-3929. SCP-3929-3 entities consisting of smoke that appear to resemble Homo sapiens, SCP-3929-3 are entities consisting of smoke that appear to resemble Homo sapiens, often of average stature and generally of indeterminate age. Of note, figures resembling prepubescent children, pubescent teenagers, and elderly people have been recorded amongst small gatherings of SCP-3929-3. The reason for this, and the purpose and nature of SCP-3929-3's nature is unknown, but it is hypothesized that SCP-3929-3 instances are either the cause of Transitional Event 3929, a byproduct of Transitional Event 3929, or representations of previous instances of SCP-3929-1. Attempts to wake up SCP-3929-1 and SCP-3929-2 during this phase of the transitional event have shown to be fruitless, with SCP-3929-1 showing a similar aversion to viewing SCP-3929-3 as it does to speaking about the attic of SCP-3929, while SCP-3929-2 is unable to perceive unable to perceive 3929-3 instances during this phase altogether. At 0300 hours o'clock local time, the transitional event 3929 ceases without a trace of SCP-3929, and at approximately 0600 o'clock local time, a new instance of SCP-3929 will appear. SCP-3929 will generally be tailored to a form which is viewed as suitable, ideal, or pleasurable living by SCP-3929-2, in either interior or exterior design, with any recreational means provided. At 0800, SCP-3929-2 appears within the house, having become an instance of SCP-3929-1. Addendum 3929.1, Experiment 76 Log. During the last experiment with SCP-3929, D1688 went into SCP-3929 and became an instance of SCP-3929-2. The current instance of SCP-3929-1 at the time, a former D-Class referred to as B Redacted, was informed that an experiment was taking place. D1688 was carrying a radio with which he reported all findings as he perceived them. A transcript has been provided below. Time: 1600 hours General Mountain Time. I think it's General Mountain Time, it's something like that. D1688 has been invited into SCP-3929 by SCP-3929-1. D1688, after his transition into an instance of SCP-3929-1, described B Redacted's house as smelling of incense, looking colorful and pleasant, bearing a pleasant atmosphere. D1688 entered the house at 1600 local time. So, wait. So just something I don't want to forget along the rhyme. It's not General Mountain Time. Greenwich Mean Time. That's right, we're in England. My mistake. Everything's American for me. Wow. Greenwich Mean Time. Which is, I say it American like I'm the standard, but isn't like Greenwich Mean Time like the center? I don't know. Maybe those damn Americans. Okay. I forget what our mountain time is. We have Pacific time, we have Central time, we have Eastern time. I forget what mountain time is. Huh. Okay, but continuing on. Someone in the Discord just messaged me, hey, are we live streaming soon? And I'm like, dude, I'm live streaming now. Western, I'm streaming now. Lol. That's right, I say lol out loud. What you gonna do? You gonna fight me? Okay, but the reason I actually stopped this discussion at this point is just to notice that I can't tell if in the series of events it's not very clear whether D, like if this interview takes place before D, while D class D1688 is a -2 or a -1. It seems to be both. Because he's describing the D1's house, or the -1's, the previous -1's house, but it also says after his transition into a -1. So that wouldn't be the case, because he would have, so, blah. Oh, I get it, because he can't, no, wait. Because a -1 can't communicate with the outside world meaningfully. Which is why you need a -2. So if he's a -1, he can't talk to the outside. But, so yeah, there's something there that needs to be cleaned up a little bit for maybe I'm just getting it wrong. But I think I'll look at that again once we're done with the interview. Let's get to the interview. This is D1688 talking to the previous -1. Wow, this place is really nice and cozy. Uh-huh. I got something cooking. Go familiarize yourself with a couch or something. SCP-3929-1 leaves to prepare the mentioned food, while D1688 fishes his radio out of his pocket and speaks into it. You guys have some weird ways of thanking me for my hard work. This place is kind of nice. But anyway, I'm in position or whatever. Researcher. Good. Just a moment. Could you try opening the front door? D1688 appears to open the front door. Appears? Do we have a video feed? Sorry. Okay. D1688 appears to open the door. Alright, take the bag we provided and put it on the doorstep. We'll be retrieving it after you've done what's needed of you. D1688, as requested, does as requested, then shuts the door. D1688, what now? Socialize with Mr. Boop until further notice. Okay. Around 1752 local time, researcher Boop made contact to D1688 through his radio again. D1688 had been partying with SCP-3929-1. Come on, D1688. Yeah, mate, what's up? We're gonna need you to slip away from whatever you're doing with Mr. Boop right now. We need you to find the attic. Don't let him know you're going up there, and don't ask him where it is. Oh yeah, sneak-like. Mate, where's the bathroom again? D1688 seems to find his way rather deftly to the attic of SCP-3929 and contacts researcher Boop. You there? Yeah, have you found the attic by any chance? Yeah, I'm there right now. It's dark and there's a door. Huh? Want me to say it louder so my friend downstairs can hear us? Wait, how? I thought... Listen, if you don't think I can get into a fucking attic on my own, then you're just anomalously stupid, mate. Never mind. Right. You say you can see a door inside? Can you try and open it? D1688 carefully opens the door, a soft creak being heard over the radio crackle. What do you see? I can't see too clearly, but it looks like a study of some kind. Is there anyone inside? Anything unnatural or surreal? There's a brief pause as D1688 keeps looking in the room. Two things. Okay. One, there's a bunch of smoke things wandering around. They don't seem to notice me. Or if they do, then they're not trying to kill me, unlike you people. And what do you mean, you people? Lol. And second of all, this place is less of a study and more of a library. A library? But you said, and it is huge. You look at one of the shelves and it just keeps going up and up and up. It's really dark up there. But I don't think there's a top. And they're chock full of books. And there's ladders that just seem to keep going and going. Is this even physically possible? Brief pause. In the background, researcher Blank can be heard conversing with a colleague in this situation. Alright, one of the books. Try and read one. D1688 grabs one of the books and can be heard flicking through the book before taking a more deliberate read of the book. It's a biography of someone from the Victorian era. Leather-bound and expensive looking. It sounds like the guy had a pretty tough life. He wanted to escape, and he found this house. But he felt trapped here. And he stopped aging. This is just flicking through it. Try another? Okay, this one looks way shittier. The cover is just the chick's face photo chopped onto a supermodel. It's similar in its read to the leather-bound ones. Same chapter list, too. And the same ending. Alright, try something from a different side of the room. Alright, again, this is a biography of someone's life. This time a D class? What the hell is going on here? Something I'm noticing as a trend here is that they're all published by the same book company, but I've never heard about it in my life. Soul Print Books. Soul Print? Does that imply that must mean that the people that end up in this place have their lives printed into a book and stored here? There's absolutely tons of them. Absolute tons. Is that what these dark figures that keep wandering around this room? An imprint of people's souls? Another pause occurs. Right. You've done some amazing work, D1688. Could you take a selection of books to the bag you've left outside for retrieval? Yeah, alright. End log. D1688 placed a selection of books within a bag on the doorstep of SCP-3929, which was collected promptly. Details on the context of the recovered books is provided from within the attic of SCP-3929 and is provided with Addendum 2. Addendum 2. Analysis of books recovered during Experiment 76. Provided below is a table containing the titles of the books D1688 provided after Experiment 76 concluded. By the way, I'm almost done, but while I'm still going, I would like to see if the author will grace us with a summary, a high concept of everything that's happening, so we can compare what the author thinks the story is to what we think the story is after reading it. So if the author is available, Mr. Red, please spin us like a paragraph summary of what's going on in your mind in this story, so we can compare it with our ideas. Provided below is a table containing the titles of the books D1688 provided after Experiment 76 concluded. After the resulting transitional event 3939, mistype, D1688 refused to speak to Foundation personnel for more than a month and expressed anger at what had occurred whenever he did have to communicate. The following table is book title, author subject, plot summary, date subject, expiration date. Bartholomew the Broken by Bartholomew Tarrant. A young Victorian man whose son ran away from home and died in the snow. In grief, Bartholomew left for the forest of Scotland, only to find SCP-3929. The hospitality of SCP-3929-1 led him into SCP-3929. Expiration date, 9th of June, 1877. Denise the Droll. Name, Denise Frelia. Denise, an egotistical woman with a penchant for self-aggrandizement, eventually finds herself isolated and alone. Wandering the forest at night, she happened upon SCP-3929 just an hour prior to the potential activation moment for Transitional Event 3929 and petitioned SCP-3929 to let her stay. Expiration date, 13th of November, 2005. Mark the Morose. Mark Nulhan, D7236. Documents every moment of D7236's life, including his crimes and moments wiped from memory through amnestics, and including his assignment to SCP-3929. Expiration date, 29th of August, data expunged. Blank the Pioneer, Agent Blank. A word-for-word copy of the discovery document of SCP-3929. Data expunged. Okay, so there's something cool in here, right? Like, I'm not sure I understand the implications for that ending yet. But I feel like there's something really cool in there. Alright, so 23 minutes to read the whole thing. That's not too bad. It's not too long, I like that. So, while we're still waiting on the author, I'm going to check the Discord, see if that paragraph might be in the Discord. Not at current. So, right now, the Temple of Depression. So, I think depression is a theme, guys. So let's take a look at how this tackles depression and how it tackles depression and how it fits it into the story. So in the containment procedures, everything is just very basic containment. Don't let people in unless it's a test. Don't let anything else catch on fire. And that's about it. We don't need to protect the person inside because they're well protected. So here's where we get into the feelings of depression. It's our idea here that everything we've got, the person inside has everything they could want, except the ability to contact the outside world. And then, so looking down at the logs of books, in grief, Bartholomew left the forest went into the forest of Scotland because he was depressed. Denise, an egotistical woman with a penchant for self-aggrandizement. Here's Mr. Red's summary, so I'll go with that first. There's a house where this person stays, cannot die, and can only get released if someone else comes in and replaces them. And they essentially have a copy of a book, and they become a copy of the book, or print a copy of this book on their leaving, in the library. And what's the phrase I'm looking for? And so their soul, or some piece of them, is trapped there, both in the book and in the shadow creature. So, that's our author, Mr. Red, with the high concept for the anomaly. Now, Mr. Red, if you can continue on, I'm going to keep trying to dissect it with depression myself, but I don't have a lot of experience in the realm of mental illness and depression, so I don't have a lot of experience with this. If you care to share your inspirations, not like your inspiration like a story about your depression or anything, that's not what I'm asking. If you have depression, I don't know. But like the themes of depression in this story, how does it feel? How does it fit in the story? What story are you trying to tell about depression in this case? So in the meantime, I'll continue on with my analysis. So we have this egotistical woman. So that shows us that this like outgoing, outwardly facing, let me take a selfie kind of girl is depressed on the inside and finds this house. And that could be that anyway. So eventually finds herself isolated and alone, wandering the forest at night. So yeah, she's egotistical. She's a let me take a selfie type. At least that's what I got from her face being superimposed on a supermodel. And like that being a picture of her face. That's what I got from that kind of. But then she's wandering the forest at night after she finds herself isolated and alone. And gets caught in the house. And lives a long, trapped life, isolated and alone, living forever until the next person comes in. And this is just a selection of books, so we don't know how long it was until the next person came in. This is just random books pulled from the library. So Mark the Morose is a D class, and it documents every moment of his life. So this, first of all, this specifically in the books is saying that the first two summaries do not mention that it documents every piece of their life. So is that a thing every book does, or just some of the books? Because, like, Book A and Book B don't say that explicitly, but Book C does. So that tells me that Books A and B do not. So if they do, it might be better to put the fact that the books explicitly state every detail of a person's life up in the description rather than in the specific book. And then mention in book 3 summary that it's very interesting that it also includes amnestics. So it's not reading their brain, it's reading their souls. And souls never forget. And then Redacted the Pioneer, Agent Redacted. A word-for-word copy of the discovery document of SCP-3929. Yeah, so it does that for every book, and I should have noted that was in a hurry to get this thing ready. That's cool. Well, you can fix that in post, but now at least you know that that's a thing that I thought. So, C-Jops mentions that if this thing removes amnestics, then should it be Keter? So these books of the souls only appear after a person dies. So, on one hand, the person who forgot it will not get the information. But on the other hand, if someone is forced to forget something, the Foundation could use this by putting the person in there and then using a second person to get their book and find out anything they've been forced to forget. So while it doesn't bring a person's memory back, it could be used to get information. That's a little bit of a, interesting for the Foundation. It might not make the anomaly Keter, but it might be an addended use. It might be a use addendum of request to use this to find information amnesticized from persons of interest pending ethics committee review. Because the ethics committee would be, you want to send this person in there, but at the same time, we want that information. So maybe that's pending ethics committee review, because you could get all that information. But you'd have to send somebody into you'd have to purposefully send somebody into depression and death to get it. Scary, man. Scary. Continuing on. So I'm a little confused about something. So this thing basically haunts people who are depressed, and then it makes them depressed forever. That's really sad, and I don't like it as a story concept. Like, because what you're doing is you're taking somebody who's already depressed and then forcing them to live through it for longer until you trap their souls eternally. And okay, now Ellen makes an interesting point. Maybe it wants to make them happy, but it does it really badly. That's interesting. Could the anomaly be trying to improve their lives, but it's a flaw somehow? Now, right now, I don't believe this is the story that Skip is telling, because there's no mention of the anomaly. I mean, the anomaly has it, what's the phrase I'm looking for? It does say that the anomaly is giving them all the amenities they could want, but it is trapping them from the outside world, which is causing them more depression. So I'd want the house itself, the anomalous house, the anomaly, to have a little more agency if it is trying to do that. I don't think the anomaly has enough agency at current to be a story about an anomaly trying to help a depressed person badly and to give it that kind of tragedy. That could have a really interesting tragic backstory. Uh, it still has that kind of kick the dog feeling of here's a depressed person, and now let's make them more depressed. Now, on the other hand, if you made a, if you made the, okay, we have something, two things from the chat. Number one, hello from Italy. Hello, Nick from Italy. And as Mr. Red, as for depression, I've often felt that feeling depression is a mixture of being unable to get out and unable to give up. Running deeper into a hole you can't get out of. And so I get what you're saying. I understand definitely. As for depression, I've often felt that feeling depression is a mixture of being unable to get out and unable to give up. Running deeper into a hole you can't get out of, and that this skip sort of digs into that idea. So, Quartz, sorry, real quick, for the format of the Suro. Yes, there is background music. If it's too loud, let me know. But I just wanted there to be music so it's not just me yapping. It makes this, just like my readings, music makes the dead space a little more interesting. So, for the author's view on depression. Cool, it's a good thing. I like that. For the depression view, when you talk about unable to run, but or unable to get out, but unable to give up, so you're trapped in a limbo, that makes sense. I almost am afraid that that almost makes it sound like the person who is depressed is at fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to avoid that feeling. Like, because depression is like chemical imbalances and stuff like that. It's disease and stuff like that. So you want it to be that the person feels that, but so that, like, making it an external thing. Because what you've done is you've externalized how they feel. And because you're making something external cause them what they're inside, I almost feel like that's a punishment for being depressed. C-Jobs, depression is all my fault. That makes it feel worse. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, like, it's not your fault that there's a chemical imbalance. It's a health thing, and that's why medicines should not be demonized. You shouldn't be made to feel bad because you have to take depression medicine, because hormonal imbalances and chemical imbalance in the brain can be fixed by that. And that's fine. Right? I don't know. Again, I'm not a mental health person, so I'm grasping at straws. I don't know a lot about depression. Morgan chimes in. Hello, Morgan. Glad you could join us. Also, lots of rage because you're scared. Depression is a horrible thing. I suffer from it. And when you suffer from it, you do feel it's your fault. It doesn't, Mr. Red, it doesn't target depressed people exclusively, but it is able to give people depression. Okay, because going back to the book summary, because that's where I have 4 people here. Book A and B are definitely people. Book A is definitely a depressed person. Depressed by death of a son. It's grief. So maybe they're not depressed. Maybe it's just grief. Denise, the egotistical woman, finds herself alone, probably because she alienated people by being self-aggrandizing. And in that case, she found grief. Affray Studios. Hey, Affray Studios is here. SCP game devs in the house. Grief is a part of depression, the 5 stages. Well, the 5 stages is the 5 stages of grief, and that's for, like, dealing with a traumatic event. Whereas depression, as we're talking about it, is like a mental state. Because you can be in depression, but, like, depression's like a mental health condition as well. Like, people use depression as, oh, I'm so depressed today. But there's also depression where it's like a clinical depression. And So what we're talking about right now is specifically clinical depression. So like a dead son, grief is one thing and clinical depression is another. And I think this skip is trying to focus on clinical depression. So we're not targeting depressed people. We are taking people and forcing them into a situation that causes them 100% of the time to be clinically depressed. And it traps their soul there. So I'm grasping at why. That's what I'm grasping at. I'm grasping at the why of the story. That's what's missing to me. So there's a house that makes you depressed. And also it traps your soul. So if you're trapped in depression, then you're trapped for all eternity. Man, that sucks. A lot. That's a real bummer. But I guess, I say, again, a thing that does a thing isn't necessarily bad. Not every story has a... Afraid. I got griefed in Minecraft for years. It made me depressed. God, gosh darn it. Ah, curse you. Lol. Okay. At least the house sounds comfy cozy. So yes, that's what I'm grasping at. I'm grasping at why in my brain. My brain wants a why. And that's part of the depression, right? That's the moral of the story. Gosh darn it. Okay. Morgan, and again, when you're depressed, you do feel as though your soul's been ripped out. Ellen, to be honest, I would like the idea that the house wants to make you happy by giving you a safe space. Sadly, I don't think that's what's actually happening. The author, Mr. Red. Lol. So grasping at straws. So yes, alright, so let's back up. Let's remember that every draft up to this point that we've done in Site-42 Critique Lab has been a mostly finished draft. But this one is more of a halfway done draft. Most of the formatting is done, and but the story is still in the works. So we're not done yet. So we're not like mostly done looking for a final say. We're in the midst, we're growing the story. So let's remember that. So right now we've got a story about if you're wandering through the woods, whether you are depressed or not, this house will take you in, try and be the best thing in the world, but leave you isolated and cut off from the world. And yet, I found it. Oh my god, I found it. Are you ready? So the title is Temple of Depression. And what that does is that sets me up for this to be a diatribe on depression of some sort. And so I wanted to say something about depression. And the author is aiming for, this house is trying to be a metaphor of depression. It's trying to be a metaphor on depression where you can have everything you want and you can have everything but it leaves you isolated and therefore you are living depression until you are finally freed, and you're so excited to be freed, but then in a kick the dog moment, you are not freed. So, Morgan asks, so does the house think it's doing good by secluding you and cutting you off like being wrapped in cotton wool? Maybe. That could be a thing. I don't think it is right now. I don't think the house is sentiently trying, but maybe it is. Maybe I'm not interpreting that properly. Right now, I don't think the book story is doing enough to say that. But here's, okay, so let me finish. My thought was, what we need to sell this moral of the house as a diatribe of depression is, I need an interview with an occupant, because right now they're so isolated that they can't interview the outside. Now, because of that, we can't get a good interview with them. But by sending in a -2, by sending in someone and creating a -2, you can get an interview with a -1 over a radio. Except they can't be heard by the radio. So you need to basically, okay, so if you read SCP-3930, this is DJ Cactus's The Pattern Screamer. Pattern Screamers? Pattern Screamers. It's Screamer or Screamer, but it's the Pattern Screamers. 3930. They had an interesting thing in the interview portion, in the exploration log, where they do an interview with someone who doesn't exist. So, because that interview was with a person who didn't exist, you can't interview a person who doesn't exist. And so, to interview that person, they had the researcher recount the recording out loud of their interview. Or no, they had the interview, yes, they had the interviewer recount it out loud, and then they had a second party dictate it. That way, the Foundation would have the notes. So, if -2 goes in, not with a radio, and then basically they don't like repeat every word that -1 says, but they give us the cliff notes. So the interview goes like, -1, I have everything I ever want in here. It's a great place. Oh, that's great. You have all the food you want. That's everything you could ever have? Yeah, but, I mean, I'm just so alone. So you're feeling really alone. And all we're getting is what the -2 is saying over the radio. So between every -2 line that tells you what the -1 said, you'd have a line that says SCP-3929-1 is presumably speaking. And that way we can have an interview with that, because what I need is the point of view of the person inside saying, I have everything I could ever want, but I don't feel fulfilled. And then the -2 can ask if they want to leave, and then they say, no, I don't want to, or I can't. I can't, I don't want to, I can't, I don't want to. And that's the first thing you do, is the interview log. And then our intrepid -2 has a great time with the -1, does the partying thing, and then goes upstairs to find the attic like he's supposed to. Real quick, C-Jobs. Could the radio pick up -1's voice? No. It's very specific in the dialogue that the -1 cannot communicate with the outside world no matter what. So they can perceive the outside world, they can check the internet, they can listen to the radio, they can watch TV, but they can't give information out. Which is why the -2 could do it for them. And as such, when they go upstairs to the attic and they see that the person is trapped, or they see what happens to the people, they can also go, oh crap, you bastards, much like D1688 does. And then it's also, oh, the Foundation has doomed this person to being inside. And then the grand finale is that the ethics committee is pending investigation of whether or not we put people who've been anesthetized in here, since it's been shown that this can read what's in their souls, even if they've been amnesticized. So, story structure for my perfect version of this skip. This is what this skip is to me. Of course, you do the item number, object class, description. Describe the house as being everything you could want, but you never want to leave. Then, you have an interview with the -2 and the -1, where the -2 gives us all the intel. Then you have an exploration log continued, where the -2 finds the attic and tells us what's up. Then the -2 discovers, oh my god, is this what I'm in for? I can't leave either. And then it cuts off, and the ethics committee... Wait. Okay, because we need to get the books to the Foundation. So maybe the smoke creatures are not in the attic at the time. Oh, this is good. Okay, so time out. This is my general disclaimer. Remember, I've written one SCP. Just one. And I've written some theater scripts in the past. So I'm not the best influence in the world. I'm just spitballing ideas here. But keep going with it. Quick thing before I go on. Jupiter's Godzilla asks, why doesn't the Foundation euthanize those SCPs that want to die? Because we are studying them. We don't destroy because we want research. So they can't die because we can't research them. So, Jobs asks, this is in line with what I'm asking, could the -2 throw the books out the window? That's one way to do it. But I don't actually want the -2 to examine the smoke creatures yet. So let's go back. It interviews, we know there are smoke creatures, or we know there's something in the attic. We have the -2 interview the -1, get the whole scoop. The -2 notices the smoke creatures leaving the attic. Just sees them walk out the door. Doesn't really pay attention. Just says, hey, they're leaving. And takes the opportunity to go into the attic when it's abandoned. Then, from that point, you have them go up, investigate the attic, find the books, start to realize what's going on. But the D doesn't really get it. They're a D class. They're not, I mean, unless they're a genius D class, most of the time the D classes aren't that intelligent. So, the D class doesn't fully click on what's happened yet. They find the books with the people inside, they're confused, they pull a couple books, they go downstairs and leave them on the stoop. Then, when they get to the stoop and they leave them outside, they see the -3s milling around. And they're like, what are the -3s doing? And they notice whatever they're doing, whatever those -3s are doing out there, they are... And he examines them. And that's when he examines the -3s. And that's when he puts 2 and 2 together. He looks at the books. He looks at the -3s and goes, oh my god, you bastards! What have you done to me? Pending ethics committee review. Smash cut. And then maybe you do, or no, you do the books first because we need to know that it takes all the amnestics from their souls. And then you do the ethics committee review. So, story structure. Description with the nice book does a good job. Or house does nice things, but it's really depressing as hell. But we don't know that yet. Then the interview. This guy has everything he could want, but he seems really depressed. I don't understand. If he doesn't like it, why doesn't he just leave? The D class doesn't get it. Then he goes upstairs after the smoke creatures leave, finds the books. Oh my god, what are these books? I don't get it yet. Takes the books downstairs, outside, notices the smoke creatures, puts 2 and 2 together. Oh my god, you bastards. And then the book descriptions, and then the ethics committee. So that is how I would structure this for this place to be a metaphor of this is what depression is like, and you're trapped, and you're trapped, and you're trapped, and it's awful. If that's what we're going for. I mean, honestly, I would, on one hand, I am a happy endings kind of guy, so I want there to be a Y, and I want there to be a happy ending, but I understand that in a tragic ending, you getting in here, you having everything you want, you wanting to leave but can't, and then being trapped there for eternity after the fact is really fucking depressing. And on top of it being depressing, the Foundation might be a terrible thing, might be doing terrible things with it because they can. And on top of that, it's depression on your depression because that's what depression is. Ah! So, end of the day, I think if I were writing this story, that is the story structure I would use. So that is what I would do with it if I were writing this. And the author says, holy shit, Sherman, that's an amazing story hook. I've got to go, guys. All right. Thank you very much for joining the chat. Keep asking questions in the Discord. I'll minimize my chat so I can go to the Discord a little bit as well. I'll be in Discord chat general if you're hanging out. Or sorry, Critique Lab if you're going to be in the chat in the general. So let me move that over so I can see both. And as a final run through for our usual goodness, let's go through for everybody and do the standard spelling and grammar. And Quartz asks, we need a voice chat. If you're in the Site-42 Discord server, check that out below at the link. There's voice chat options, so you can go to a voice read. And from there, let's go through a quick run through of the spelling and grammar. Are you ready? Item number SCP-3929. Every SCP number needs hyphens. Because you did that consistently, I think that's just a formatting thing you did along the way. So please fix that. Continuing on. Overarching note for your... Alright, Dillagath points out a good one. I was going to say something similar. On the time, drop the o'clock off of it. It should be 0300 GMT. You don't put a clock when you do the whole military time zone thing. You don't put a clock. That'll come up later, but that's what you need. Formatting wise, there's a lot of -1. There's a lot of repeating the numbers to a tedious amount, and it makes it a lot to chew on when you say -1, -2, instead of like saying the whole SCP-3929-1, SCP-3929-2. You say those a lot. And those could be cut down on by using things like entity, subjects, house, describers that allow us to drop the numbers once in a while. So don't let it break your tone, but do what you can to kind of ease up on those, because there's a lot of them where they're like stuck together, and it's really hard to chew on. Okay. Monitored at all times and patrolled regularly by security staff on site. Cameras feed from around the fence surrounding SCP, then viewed from a remote outpost as a farm. Located 4 kilometers. Okay, if you have a number that's less than 10, or I'm sorry, 10 or less, basically if the number can be said as one word, then you should have it spelled out. So 1 through 10 is spelled out. 40 is spelled out. 41, you write the digits. That's a rule for writing. It's kind of a nebulous rule, but most of the time, if you can say it as one word, you should spell it. So 4 kilometers, F-O-U-R. -1 is self-contained by SCP-3929, comma, but due to there's an extra it there, take that out. But due to the potential danger SCP-3929 poses to the public, it is fenced with a fortified wall of a 5-kilometer radius around SCP-3929 and considered to be the Foundation's private property. Capitalized Foundation. Unauthorized personnel and trespassers into the property must be detained, debriefed, and either terminated or amnesticized. Due to the risk posed by transits of 329 towards natural containment and secrecy efforts, either due to... Okay, so this is a weird sentence. Due to the fire risk posed by transitional event 3929 towards natural wildlife, containment and secrecy efforts, either due to controlled experimentation or the unexpected introduction of SCP-3929-2, trees and plant life of progressively growing or wood nature is not to be permitted. Alright, so those are such long things in between the commas that it gets really confusing. So, we gotta change that somehow. How would I do that? Due to the fire risk posed by transitional event 329 SCP-3929 towards natural wildlife, containment and secrecy efforts, either due to controlled experimentation or the unexpected introduction of SCP-3929-2, plants, trees, and plant lights of a progressively growing or wood nature is not to be permitted within a 1 kilometer radius of 3929. Okay, that's why. Because containment and secrecy efforts don't have to do with the fire hazard. Containment and secrecy efforts are like patrolling the area and making sure people don't come in. So, also, Dilligaff points out a great point. You could bullet point those things as well. Moving on. So yeah, fix that sentence somehow. Going down. Oh, no, come back. I accidentally notificationed myself. What's going on? Stop. Why? Go back to the sandbox. Stop it, technology. Don't be my enemy.
There's a freedom movement all over
No!
this land. And that freedom movement is sweet.
Okay, here we go. Personnel researching the effects of a transitional event 3929 must be equipped with fire retardant equipment and a means of extinguishing stray frames that may result as a transitional event 3929. You do not need a comma if you have an and. So must be equipped with fire retardant equipment and a means of extinguishing stray flames. No comma there. Invitation to the home of SCP-3929-1 is to be declined in any case that it occurs outside of a testing and experiments. No comma there. In any case that it occurs outside of testing and experiments, in which D-class personnel may be used exclusively. If you take out the comma after occurs, I don't actually know if you need a comma after experiments in which D-class. I think you do. So I think it's no comma after occurs, yes comma after experiments. So, okay. Moving on. Research into the anomalous properties of SCP-3929. I think, so when you put an SCP-3929, I don't know if you should have the SCPs before those or not. No, I don't think you need them. The contents of SCP-3929's attic and whereabouts of information on soul print books is pending approval. Underway. I don't think you need the pending approval there. Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, it struck through and you changed it to underway. I guess because the books are in an addendum, okay, that makes sense. Oh, but because it's underway, see addendum, whichever addendum it is. That way we know that it's underway because of an addendum. Got it. Good. Description. SCP-3929 is currently a two-story house similar in construct to a home within urban sectors of Dead Expunge, England. It is located in Ayrshire, Scotland, northwest. Okay, so why is the place where it is located unexpunged, but the houses similar to it are not? The houses of similar structure are expunged. Its location northwest of blank is expunged, but you're still willing to say it's in this area of Scotland? Like, I understand that that could be a big area, but it seems a little weird to expunge two places more general. Like, the first one, houses similar to, seems way more general than... I don't know, there's something weird about expunging general versus specific information there. I'm not sure. But you did say you were going to talk about the expungements, so we can go on with that. In a remote forest, despite its changing appearance with each iteration of SCP-3929-1, SCP-3929 will always have essential needs of a human, along with any other needs an essential requires. I don't think you need a comma after needs of a human, because along with any is your transition. It is theorized that SCP-3929 is sentient in the respect that it caters to the wants and needs of the current iteration of SCP-3929-1. The reason for this is unknown. Good use of sentient versus sapient. Okay. SCP-3929-1 is currently D1688, previously known as blank blank, a Caucasian male of ostensibly 27 years of age. Previously a self-published writer from Dead Expunged, England, and was convicted of multiple counts of manslaughter. Despite having been trapped within SCP-3929, for 3 years. SCP-399-1 does not appear to be physically aged, making SCP-399-1 biologically immortal. Okay, I was going to complain about his ostensible age, considering you know his manslaughter charge, but then, yeah, he's been in there for 3 years. Although I would do a better part. Like, say he is biologically 27 years of age, but, yeah, instead of ostensibly, say biologically, because we do know he is 27 years of age, but then you can mention that he has been immortal for 3 years. That way, due to the effect, instead of saying despite having been trapped within SCP-3929 for 3 years, say due to the effects of SCP-3929, SCP-3929-1 does not appear to, has not physically aged in the 3 years it has been trapped there. I think that's a little bit of a better phrasing of the idea you're trying to give. Continuing on. Research into the anomalous properties of SCP-3929-1, 3929, 3929-1, 3929-3, and contents of SCP-3929. Oh wait, I've already read that. Sorry. Scanning down. Descriptions and pictures received in the current iteration of SCP-3929-1 depict SCP-3929's current manifestation as a pleasant, clean home, almost completely free from clutter. SCP-3929-1 reports that this is a feature of SCP-3929, that he is not aware of how it occurs. Questionings conducted indicate that SCP-3929-1 will answer most questions, sans questions pertaining to the attic. The current iteration of SCP-3929-1, D1688, will appear to disregard any mention of an attic altogether. SCP-3929-1 appears to express a distinctive aversion. Okay, so, because it answers questions, the thing we did where we said it'll talk to a -2, but it will not talk to but it can't talk to the outside world, we really should mention somewhere earlier on that the standard procedure for interviewing -1 is to send in a person to either interview them at their front stoop without going inside, or to go inside and become a -2. We ought to mention that protocol in the containment procedures as a testing procedure. Continuing on. The only information in any instance of SCP-3929-1 is given about SCP-3929's attic is the seemingly paranoid belief of a nondescript enemy believed to be a manifestation of SCP-3929-3 due to the radio logs disclosed within Addendum 1. Most things when we talk about the addendum, we usually do like a semicolon and say see Addendum 1. That's the standard format. Due to the you don't have to use standard format, of course. There is no canon. But believed to be a manifestation of SCP-3929-3 due to the radio logs. Due to radio logs, see Addendum 1. Due to the radio logs, this goes. I mean, that works anyways. In the attic, but I don't know. If you want to format it the way the site does more often, you might want to change that. That's up to you. In the attic of SCP-3929, it is believed that while SCP-3929-1 is unable to enter or fully acknowledge SCP-3929's attic, instances of SCP-3929-2 are able to locate and communicate information about the attic. SCP-3929-1 appears to express a distinctive version of the leaving 2.5 kilometers from SCP-3929. Is unable to express why. No comma there. And is unable to express why. Current hypotheses. Hypothesis is IS at the end. Hypotheses, when you have multiple hypotheses, have an ES at the end. Hypotheses is the plural. So suggests that hypotheses. So is this suggests that although we should leave their subject to okay. Current hypothesis suggests. So weird. I've always heard current hypotheses suggests as a thing where you're talking about multiple hypotheses that you don't need a subject. But saying current hypothesis suggests like that's just a weird phrase to me. I don't know if that's a weird phrase to anyone else. Like, our current hypothesis sounds more correct, but it also sounds more casual. Current hypothesis suggests that although, okay, yeah, that's right, it just sounded weird in my brain for a moment, who knew? Current hypothesis suggests that although SCP-3929-1 wishes to leave SCP-3929, they're subject to a cognitive hazard. We usually know, Jaquan points out that the current hypothesis suggests. That would be a good way to do it, I like that. They are subject to a cognitive hazard. If you'd like to, you could use the made-up Foundation word, cognitohazard, and that would still work. Brought on by SCP-3929, that triggers a fight or flight instinct when faced with the choice, and the subject expressing a seemingly genuine fear. However, in 25% of instances in which it is suggested for SCP-3929-1 to leave SCP-3929, the former displays a largely obsessive reaction regarding SCP-3929 comparable to a parent who has been separated forcefully from their child. Oh, sorry, Joaquin. What did I say? Sorry. Exploration of SCP-3929-1 appears to result in the reappearance of SCP-3929-1 24 hours later, with SCP-3929-1 describing this experience as a strange, lengthy bout of uneasy, dreamless sleep. Despite showing enjoyment of SCP-3929's recreational facilities and its seemingly endless food supply, the current iteration of SCP-3929-1 has attempted suicide at least blank times due to reported feelings of isolation and helplessness. SCP-3929-1 is known to have access to the internet, but shows an inability to use this to contact the outside world. Any attempt made by SCP-3929-1 to contact the outside world through social media, forums, and telephone, I say Oxford, comma, after forums, and telephone has resulted in failure. Due to this, SCP-3929-1 is able to keep up with current events and express opinions and views, but appears and reports being unable to cope with its lack of connection to the outside world. For SCP-3929's mental well-being, it has been assigned to a psychiatrist who allowed to converse with Foundation personnel due to lack of sufficient threat, malicious intent, or threat of containment breach. Continuing on the speed reading. Oh, another Oxford comma after malicious intent. Despite SCP-3929-1's inability to leave SCP-3929, the current iteration of SCP-3929 appears to contain an anomalously large and potentially self-replenishing quantity of food, which has kept SCP-3929-1 alive for the last 3 years, with previous iterations of SCP-3929 supposedly having survived up to 100 years. Do we know it's up to 100 years, or is it something like... What's the phrase I'm looking for? What is the, Alright, I've got 2 questions. First of all, I don't know what Hi Mary Mary is. And copyright claims. Is this something to do with the music? This is all Kevin MacLeod royalty-free music, so that's it's all not gonna get me sued. But what was I gonna say? Oh, yes. When it comes to surviving 100 years, are we sure it's only up to 100 years? Or is it something where it's unknown if it's able to survive indefinitely? Instances may be able to survive indefinitely. Research is pending. Meanwhile, now that you mention it, I do remember what Hi Mary Mary is because I looked it up on Nightmind. Nightmind did a video about him, and Nightmind's the bomb. Okay, continuing on. And for Joaquin, hey, I'm glad you found the channel yesterday and welcome to the stream. Glad you could find the channel. Welcome to Site-42. Continuing on in the speed read. With previous iterations of SCP-3929 supposedly to survive 100 years, Foundation analysis of SCP-3929's food deducts that despite tasting exactly the way it should in each instance, the food is composed entirely of data expunged. Oh my god! What is the food made of? What is the food made of? Do you know what it is, or are you just being creepy? I don't know. Is it made of wood because it's in the forest and everything's trees? I don't know. Is it made of fire because the house sits on fire? Is it made of depressed souls? Is the food made of depression? Is it... Oh, I'm so sad. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I hope when Mr. Red looks at this, he goes, guys, it's just food. Shut up. I hope he has a reason. Just because that would be funny. SCP-3929-1 will often attempt to engage in conversation with potential peers using any opportunity of self-expression. Once an individual has stepped into SCP-3929, they become an instance of SCP-3929-2. Instances of SCP-3929-2 show a similar inability to leave SCP-3929-1. Alright, hold up a second. Hold up. I got a plot hole. Plot hole time. Are you ready? I just found this. Thanks. This is what you get for speed reading through it a second time. Are you ready? I don't get this. Right now, we know that SCP-3929-1 has access to the internet and TV and radio and entertainment, but cannot speak to the outside world. So it can't talk to the outside world. But I don't know the limit of this. Can it not talk to anybody outside its house? Does someone have to become a -2 to be able to talk to it? Or can you sit on its porch and talk to it? Because it says it can have a Foundation psychiatrist. How does it talk to the psychiatrist? Does the psychiatrist sit on its stoop and talk to it out there? So because it can walk outside the house. So can it talk to people on its lawn and that person can hear it? Can it not talk to people outside the boundaries of its 5-kilometer area around the house? And by the way, isn't 5 kilometers really big? But anyways, so it has its house and its yard. So can it talk to people? Can it not talk to people outside its yard? Can it not talk to people outside its house? Can it not talk to people who are not entities? Because if it has a Foundation psychiatrist, the Foundation psychiatrist has to be able to talk to it. How does it do that? Does it talk to... Because if they have to become a -2 just to talk to it, I feel like that's a little extreme. But maybe it can only communicate with people on its yard. And going on the yard allows you to talk to it. But if you go into the house, you become it. So people can go into the yard if they need to talk to it. But sending someone into the house is how you become one. And so sending someone to interview it, you just send them onto the yard. But if you're sending a D-class to get them to the attic, that's why you're sending them in specifically into the house. So, and if you want that interview to be legible, every interview has to be with a radio, because once you leave the yard, the communication no longer goes through. So I hope Mr. Red comes back and reads all that, because that's important to point out and figure out. Okay, continuing on. Expiration of SCP-39, no, that's depression. Containment breach. Going down. Okay. Self-expression. Once an individual stepped into SCP-3929, they become an instance of SCP-3929-2. Instances of wait. SCP-3929 is to be monitored. SCP-3929 is currently a 2-story house. So it's just the house. And all the fire that, it burns a big fire because it's a forest fire. It doesn't, burn a certain area. So the yard isn't part of the anomaly. So then, can it talk to people outside the house? Can it traverse the grounds? I'm confused about that. Mr. Red, sort this out. Whew. They become an instance of SCP-3929-2. Instances of SCP-3929-2 show a similar inability to leave SCP-3929 to SCP-3929-1. SCP-3929-2, like SCP-3929-1, is able to contact the outside world. But unlike SCP-3929-1, SCP-3929-2 is able to communicate important information, non-superficial, about Oh, okay. What you need to do for this sentence is able to contact important, comma, non-superficial information. I think that's just out of order. About the anomalous qualities of SCP-3929. The last recorded instance of SCP-3929-2, D1688, was able to reach and speak about the attic of SCP-3929, detailing what he saw before the current instance of SCP-3929-1 became aware of D1688's intrusion. See Addendum 3929-1 for details. If an instance of SCP-3929-1 and SCP-3929-2 are together in SCP-3929 at 1 o'clock GMT, at 0100 GMT. Transitional event 3929 is executed. SCP-3929 appears to catch fire internally, with no method for either SCP-3929-1 or SCP-3929-2 to exit safely. During every instance of transitional event 3929 occurring, SCP-3929-1 expresses thankfulness to SCP-3929-2 for what it perceives as being set free. If an instance of SCP-3929-1, we already said that, darn. Foundation secrets could be very dangerous if they got out. C-Jobs. No information from the house, from -1, can be beamed outside. So it's not that it's giving out information, it's that it can't give out information. So, although the information in the books is a Foundation secret, so maybe... Oh, you're talking about higher in the chat when they said maybe the house speaks through text messages. I see. And the books, yes, the book could have Foundation secrets. Maybe a pending change to Keter, depending. Maybe. I don't know. We gotta go see what some of the other secret-keeping SCPs are class-wise to see if they penned it. Because, like, there's the Future Tellers, and then there's ones that read minds. So we got to see what those are and see if those are still Euclid or not. Because this is contained by the Foundation, I don't know that they'd be worried about Foundation secrets getting out as much. There's no real way for it to get out. Continuing on. It has been noted that an hour prior to the majority of transitional event 3929 occurrences, SCP-3929-3 instances have been seen to roam SCP-3929. So they roam the house, not the yard outside. So, my assumption was that they roamed the grounds, and that's why I thought that the D class could see them outside and examine them there, and it was super interesting to me. So maybe you change that. Maybe you make 3929 and a small radius of the grounds part of the anomaly. And then if you're on the lawn, you can communicate with it and hang out, and you can still leave. But if you go into the house, you're trapped. Maybe. I don't know. SCP-3929-9 entities are consisting of smoke that appear to resemble Homo sapiens, often of average stature and generally of an indeterminate age. Of note, figures resembling pubescent children, pubescent teenagers, and elderly people have been recorded among small gatherings of SCP-3929-3. The reason for this and the purpose and nature of SCP-3929-3's nature is unknown, but it is hypothesized that SCP-3929-3 instances are either the cause of transitional event 3929, a byproduct of transitional event 3929, or representation of previous instances of SCP-3929-1. Attempts to wake up SCP-3929-1 and SCP-3929-2 during this phase of the transitional event have shown to be fruitless, with SCP-3929-1 showing a similar aversion to viewing SCP-3929-3 as it does speaking about the attic of SCP-3929, while SCP-3929-2 is unable to perceive SCP-3929-3 instances during this phase altogether. Okay, so I got that wrong again. I got it wrong again, because -2 can't see the -3s. And my story was really interesting based on that he could see the -3s. So, either you forget what I said, or you change the story to implement that the -3s can be seen by the -2 because he's not part of the anomaly yet, fully. I like that idea anyways, but again, your story, tell it your way. At 3 o'clock GMT, the transitional event, so don't say local time, say GMT again, because keep the format the same. It's got to be consistent. The transitional event 3929 ceases without a trace of SCP-3929, and at approximately 6 o'clock 0600 GMT, I'm going to say it that way, but you know to fix it, a new instance of SCP-3929 will appear. SCP-3929 will generally be tailored to a form which is viewed as suitable, ideal, or pleasurable living by SCP-3929-2. Now designated SCP-3929-1. In either interior or exterior design with any recreational means presented at 8 a.m. Ah, okay, I see what you got. Okay, that works. At 0800 hours GMT, SCP-3929-2 appears within the house, having become an instance of SCP-3929-1. Addendum 3929.1, Experiment Log 76, Experiment 76 Log. Yes, okay. During the last experiment with SCP-3929-D1688 went into SCP-3929 and became an instance of SCP-3929-2. The current instance of SCP-3929-1 at the time, a former D-class referred to as blank, was informed that an experiment was taking place. D1688 was carrying a radio with which he reported all findings as he perceived them. A transcript has been provided below. 1600 GMT. D1688 has been invited to SCP-3929 by SCP-3929-1. D1688, after his transition to an instance of SCP-3929-1, described Blank's house as smelling of its incense, looking colorful and less pleasant, bearing an pleasant atmosphere. Why did he wait until after becoming a -1 to describe the previous -1's house? He can describe the person's house while he's in there because he's a -2. He can communicate outside. I don't see why he waited to describe it until later. D1688 entered the house at 1600 local time. Wow, this place is nice and cozy. Hey. Okay, so I find this dialogue... I'm not going to mess with the dialogue because there's colloquialisms and casual and tone. And most of this was pretty good. All I want to say is that there's a point where this D-class feels a little bit like he's been at this for too long. Like... You have some weird ways of thanking me. Oh, there's a misspelling of the word weird. Weird has an E before the I. Weird ways of thanking me for my hard work. So he was told this was a reward because he's been doing this for a while. Okay, so Dilligaff points out, and Ellen pointed out, that it's very British. We think about hard work. This case is kind of nice, but anyways, I'm in position or whatever. Good, just a moment. Try to open the door. So good, we have the tone with the Britishness correct, I guess. I honestly can't tell myself. I don't know why it's British versus not. I'm not sure what the phrasing difference is. All right, take the bag we provide and put it on the doorstep. We'll be retrieving it after you've done what's needed of you. So yes, once you fiddle with the dialogue here, you're going to mess with this and talk about the exploration and maybe the -3s if you use that idea. Story structure from earlier, you saw that. Getting down to the bulk of it. Oh yeah, I've got to go over it anyways for the learning experience, so let's knock it out. Wow, this place is nice and cozy. Hey, I've got something cooking. Go familiarize yourself with the couch or something. -1 leaves to prepare for the mentioned food while D1688 fishes his radio out of his pocket and speaks into it. If you guys have some weird ways of thanking me for my hard work, this place is kind of nice, but anyways, I'm in position or whatever. Good, just a moment. Could you try open the front door? Appears to open the front door. Alright, take it back, and put it on the doorstep. We'll be retrieving it after you've done what's needed for you. Does request to test the door. What now? Socialize with Mr. B until further notice. Okay. At around 17:52 local time, researcher Blank made contact D1688 through his radio again. D1688 had been partying with SCP-3929-1. Come on, D1688. Yeah, mate, what's up? We're gonna need you to slip away from whatever you're doing with Mr. Blank right now. We need you to find the attic. Don't let him know you're going up there, and don't ask him where it is. Oh yeah, sneak-like. Mate, where's the bathroom again? D1688 seems to find his way rather deftly to the attic of SCP-3929 and contacts researcher Blank. You there? Yeah, have you found the attic by any chance? Yeah, right now it's dark and there's a door. Want me to say it louder so my friend downstairs can hear us? Wait, how? I thought. Okay, why? Wait, how I thought? I don't get. Why does he find it weird that he found the attic that he was just told to go find? Listen, if you don't think that I can get into a fucking attic on my own, then you're just anomalously stupid, mate. Anomalously stupid is a weird thing to say to me. Maybe that's not a weird insult for you guys. Like, even when you're, like, it sounds like that's, like, when he said this is a reward for my hard work, I was happy with it. This sounds like he's way too deep in the Foundation lingo. Like, that he uses anomalously, like a joke term. That stands out as weird to me tone-wise, but maybe other people will like it, I'm not sure. I'm not a fan. Never mind, right? You say you see a door inside, can you try and open it? He opens the door. Yeah, so it wasn't locked. And... yeah, so the door wasn't locked. I don't know why he said, wait, how I thought. Like, I'm confused as to why that happened. Da, da, da. What do you see? I can't see too clearly. It looks like a sturdy bed of some kind. Is there anyone inside? Anything unnatural or surreal? There's a brief pause. D1688 keeps looking in the room. Two things. Okay. There's a bunch of smoke things wandering around. So he sees the smoke things. So that's why I thought he could see the smoke things, because earlier in the document you said he can't see the smoke things. But now he can see the smoke things. Make up your mind! They don't seem to notice me, or if they do, they're not trying to kill me, unlike you people. Second of all, this place is less of a study and more of a library. A library, but you said, and it's huge! Alright, so why does he say, but you said? Like, he's saying, I know I said it's a study, but it's more of a library. So, there's something about this conversation where if the researcher is confused because an attic can't fit a library, that needs to be a little better phrased so that we can point out that there's some like TARDIS level, bigger on the inside kind of shit going down. Continuing on. And it is huge. You look at one of the shelves and it just keeps going up and up and up. It's really dark up there, but I don't think there's a top. And they're chock full of books. And there's ladders and they seem to keep going and going. Is it even physically possible? I stand corrected. Kind of. Brief pause. I don't think that structure was right for that, but you did at least explain what I wanted to hear, so yay. Brief pause in the background. Researcher Blank can be heard conversing with a colleague on the situation. What's he saying about it? I'm curious. Why is that in there? Why does him talking to a subject, like, he says, all right, one of the books, try and read one. Why did he need to converse with somebody to do that? Unless there's a reason for that, I don't think it's necessary. I think you just cut that line. D1688 grabs one of the books and can be heard flicking through the book before taking a more deliberate read of the book. It's a biography of someone from the Victorian era, leather-bound and expensive looking. It looks like this guy had a pretty tough life. He wanted to escape and he found this house, but he felt trapped here and he stopped aging. This is just flicking through it. Try another. Okay, this one looks way shittier. Rude. The cover is just the chick's face photoshopped. I think photoshopped is one word. Is photoshopped onto, although that might have been an autocorrect or something, I don't know. Photoshopped onto a supermodel. It's similar in its read to the leather-bound one. Same chapter list 2 and same ending. Alright, try something from a different side of the room. Again, this is a biography of someone's life, and this is a D class. What the hell's going on here? Something noticing is, as a trend here is they're all published by the same book company, but I've never heard about it in my life. Soul Print Books. Soul Print, does that imply that... Okay, so, Soul Print Books. I don't like Soul Print Books. Off topic, two sides. This has been mentioned twice now. Wow, you can say a lot of words without in one breath. And I'm sure you get this a lot, but I think you should be a rapper. Lol. In case you don't know, Sherman is a trained singer. So I have breath support and diction practice, which is why clarity and stuff like that. I do a mean Ride With Me by Nelly, but I don't do a lot of rapping. Although I do love Hamilton, because Broadway musicals and rap. I can do decent at some Hamilton songs. But anyways, Soul Print Books. I don't like Soul Print Books. I don't think you need Soul Print Books. Unless they're going to be a group of interest of some kind that you're coming up with later that you need to put in. Because it's already very clear once he finds the smoke people that these are the souls that are trapped by the books. So, like, the book is of their life, and then you see their souls walking around. So unless Soul Print Books is some sort of group publisher that's going to come up in other skips you're going to read, I think it's too on the nose. And I think you can cut it entirely and just say, these books tell someone's entire history. And then you see their souls outside in smoke monster form, and you're like, oh my god, that's the people in the books! And then you read later that it even says things that are amnesticized. So, that is, I think either, if you want it, you can use it, but I think it's too on the nose. I think we get the point without it. This must mean that people end up at this place, have their lives printed on the book and stored here, and there's absolutely tons of them, absolutely tons. Yeah, see, this is all stuff that you're going to show us when you read the books, bring them outside, find the smoke monsters for the reveal. Oh God. So I think that's I think you can cut this entire ending, but Pausicers. Right, you've done some amazing work today, D1688. Could you take a selection of books to the bag that you left outside for your retrieval? Yeah, alright. End log. D1688 placed a selection of the books within the bag of the doorstep of SCP-3929, which was collected promptly. Details on the contents of the recovered books is provided from within the attic of SCP-3929 is provided. Details on the contents of the recovered books is provided from within the So this sentence is out of order. Details on the contents of the recovered books. Details on the contents of the books recovered from within the attic of SCP-3929 is provided within Addendum 2. Addendum 2, analysis of books recovered during Experiment 76. Provided below is a table containing the titles of the books D1688 provided after Experiment 76 concluded. After the resulting transmission event 3929, not 3939, D1688 refused to speak to Foundation personnel for more than a month and expressed anger at what had occurred whenever he did have to communicate. I like that. I love the end of his log to be, oh shit, you bastards. And then we see he hasn't talked to us in a month. I think it's really funny. In a sad, terrible way. But, Book title. Blah, blah, blah. Bartholomew the Broken. Bartholomew Tarand. A young Victorian man whose son ran away from home and died in the snow. In Greek, Bartholomew left for the forest of Scotland. Only to find... I think fled to the forest is a little more interesting way of saying it. Bartholomew fled to the forest. I think that's just a nicer way to say it. Only to find SCP-3929. I don't think you need a comma there. The hospitality of SCP-3929-1 led into SCP-3929. Date, okay. Denise, an egotistical woman with a penchant for self-aggrandizement, eventually finds herself isolated and alone. I don't think you need a comma there. Wandering the forest at night, she happened upon SCP-399 just an hour prior to the potential activation moment for her transition within 399 and petitioned SCP-399-1 to let her stay. I don't think that... Should she petition to stay? Or is... Because, like, she didn't have to petition hard. 3929 wants her to stay. So maybe... I don't know. She can petition to stay. It's not a big deal. Documents every moment of D7236's life, including his crimes and moments wiped from memory through amnestics, and including the assignment to SCP-3929. So yes, I want the ethics committee after this to be like... I want the Foundation to be like, can we use this to get forgotten information? And the ethics committee to be like, we gotta think about that, because that's cruel and unusual right there. You're essentially subjecting people to immortality in a state of depression until we feed it someone else. So, let's think about it. A word for word copy of the discovery document of SCP-3929. Okay, so you shouldn't... The last one. I don't know why you find a word-for-word copy of the discovery document. Because... I guess... because there is no discovery document. Oh, but that's the story of the first agent who found it. So I think you should do the discovery document before the D class, because the discovery document is before the D class. I mean, I guess you could do them out of order, but it seems like you have a timeline going. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, so that is the end of Critique Lab. We made it to the end, and hey guys, guess what? We made it through a whole stream without YouTube crashing. Isn't that incredible? Oh my gosh. High five for surviving today. So, this has some pretty good potential. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me and helping me to do this. If you guys like what you see on the channel, remember to do all the YouTube channel things. Like, share, subscribe. If you really want to help out, jump on the Patreon and the merch store. That way we can keep funding cool stuff and do more videos and pay artists and start doing our live action stuff sooner. And until the next time I see you guys, see you next time, Foundation staff. Sorry to Chris Sist, who once again caught the stream right at the tail end. Peace out, finger poke in the face.